it's we're good.
Are you sure?
It's Monday.
Well, are we really good?
You're listening to Mike and John Got It Going On, a Livingston County-based podcast that's based in, well, Livingston County. And now, Mike and John.
Fresh back from a 3-day weekend. How about that?
Yes.
You all refreshed and ready to roll?
Well,
it's kind of cold in here today.
Yeah.
What happened to the heat?
My igniter went out.
Don't you hate it when your igniter goes out?
So
things
I
are
came home
can't
from
get hot.
came home from a 3-day weekend, me and my wife, and the place is like a meat locker.
I'm over here by the heat.
You know, kids are like, yeah, it's kind of cold.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for the heads up.
Yeah. I got a space heater in here. I brought it in. I warmed up the
could have
place.
brought a sweater like Mr. Rogers.
Right, sure.
All right, a lot of things going on today here on Mike and John Got It Going On.
Like?
Well, we're going to have GIGO News in just a minute
course
or
we
two.
are. Yes.
It's National Cordon Bleu Day, which means blue ribbon.
Okay.
Chicken, pork, cordon bleu.
Did you have to look that up?
I did.
Okay.
I did. And Firehouse Doors, our main sponsor, has put up a giveaway. We're going to tell you more about that in just a little while.
Yeah.
Also, I know it's not exactly the most exciting topic in the world, but tax day is less than 2 weeks away.
Yep.
But here's the deal. It's April 15th, I think, is tax day, right?
That's what they say.
But, and you know what they say, tax day is the 15th, but I think it's also some type of tax relief day, so the government gets the day off. So you have some extra time till the 19th.
Right.
So you get a 3-day weekend.
The 15th is a
that.
Friday.
Right.
Right.
So they're just taking a 3-day weekend like they're John King or something.
Right.
And
do you think that the government will come home from their 3-day weekend and their igniter won't be working either?
Their igniter hasn't been working for a long time. All right, let's get today's GIGO News. What's going on?
All right, here's what's happening. An anti-government extremists or big talkers enticed by zealous federal agents? That's the question a jury will begin deliberating today in the trial of 4 men charged in a plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. During final arguments Friday, prosecutors painted the defendants as being filled with rage against Whitmer in retaliation for COVID-19 restrictions, but who also sought to create chaos in the days leading up to the 2020 general election. Daniel Harris, Adam Fox, Barry Croft Jr., and Brandon Caserta are charged with conspiring to kidnap Whitmer from her vacation home in northern Michigan, as well as related weapons charges. The accused plotters were arrested in October of 2020 after authorities say they discussed raising $4,000 to purchase an explosive that would be used to blow up a bridge near Whitmer's vacation home in order to slow up police responding to the kidnapping. Assisting the prosecution was testimony from Ty Garbin of Heartland Township. Garbin earlier pleaded guilty as part of a deal. He testified the group's goal was to cause as much disruption as possible so Joe Biden could not defeat then President Trump. Garbin was sentenced to 6 years in prison last August. The others face up to life in prison. A candidate for the Michigan State Senate is withdrawn following a major medical incident. Michael Tipton withdrew from the race for the 22nd State Senate seat after suffering a massive heart attack Tuesday while vacationing in Florida. Livingston County Democratic Party Chair Judy Daubenmire said emergency responders quickly got him to a hospital where he remained in intensive care. Tipton had been the only Democrat to file for the newly drawn district. State Senator Lana Tice of Brighton Township is running for the GOP nomination. She's being challenged by Mike Detmer of Howell. And General Motors has named a Livingston County woman as its new president and general manager of GM Canada. Marissa West of Heartland Township has been the executive chief engineer for GM's mid-size and medium-duty truck division the last 3 years, where she had led the design, engineering, and development of programs for GM trucks. West has 4 children with her husband Bob, and according to a press release, they look forward to immersing their family into Canada. Bob West is the manager for Heartland Township. He tells GIGO News he remains committed to the township and predicts no foreseeable impact regarding his tenure as Heartland Township manager. And that's what's going on.
Hey, I want to thank everybody that's gone to the Mike and John Got It Going On merch store through Spirit of Livingston and Howell Custom T-shirts and Screen Printing Company, providing high-quality graphic design services and custom embroidery. Great prices and quick turnaround. We're getting great response on some of the Mike and John merch. New stuff to come for this new season of spring.
I don't even have the new I've got this wonderful mug here.
That is a nice mug.
But we have a travel mug now we've added to the collection.
Yeah, we've had some requests for travel mugs and hoodies, things of that nature. More in our women's fashion line too. So
Our women's fashion line.
It's the Mike and John got it
Right.
going on fashion line.
That's right.
It's
We'll be debuting on the runway at Paris. Move aside, Chanel.
Versace,
Yeah.
Gucci, hit the road.
Yeah.
It's Mike and John got it going on. It's GIGO.
Actually, it's the House of GIGO.
Oh.
It's the House of
Well,
GIGO.
maybe it's the basement of GIGO.
It's the basement of
The
GIGO.
basement of
the basement
GIGO.
of GIGO.
You
And
too
Could
can
you
be
imagine?
sporting it.
Yeah, and you can imagine a bunch of models out on
Oh,
the
yeah.
runway wearing a bunch of baseball tees.
There's V-necks, there's hoodies, yeah.
But doing the walk.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we'll have to have a fashion show.
And it's the basement of GIGO.
Yes.
Oh, that's the new fashion house. I've heard
Well,
of them. Have you been to the basement of GIGO? I've not been to the basement of GIGO. Oh my God, they've got all the. You should see everything they've got. They've got V-necks. V-necks. V-necks, you say? Yes, they've got V-necks.
And crew necks.
They've got baseball tees.
They
Wow.
do.
Oh my God, I have to
We
get
need
one.
hats.
That's next.
Maybe a
couture.
golf hat. I don't know.
Our high couture.
Can you spell that?
It's Cordon Bleu.
Oh, is that the color we're sporting these days? Before we get to our community spotlight,
Yes, because the alarm went off. We're a little
It
late,
did.
as always.
it's okay.
Right.
We're talking taxes, and Fairchild, LaBelle, and Rice. My brother Tom, a member there, is going to be the person we're talking to in just a few minutes. So he doesn't mind us being late. He's always
Your brother's
late
used.
He's always
I
late
see.
anyway,
Oh,
so
that's
it
nice.
really doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
All right.
But if you would like to order some Mike and John Got It Going On merch,
Right.
go to our website, mikeandjohnpodcast.com. On the right side in the blue, near the search,
Right.
magnifying glass,
Right.
is the merch store, and it says merch. You click on that, and you'll find all our stuff.
Right. You can click it on
Sometimes
there.
people have trouble finding that stuff.
So you're giving them directions.
Yes,
You're like
I
the
am.
guy on the side of the road.
Hang a right. It's just to the left.
Just look for the
of
merch.
the magnifying glass.
And that's where the merch will be, where it says merch.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes. And then you can when you order stuff, they'll have it all ready. They put the orders together on a Friday, and then you can come and pick up your order or have it mailed
Right, by the next Friday
by
usually.
the next Friday or so. So it takes a little bit of time because these are custom made to order.
Yeah.
They're not sitting on a shelf somewhere.
We're not sending them out to
Sweatshop
some
somewhere.
sweatshop in Indonesia
Heck
or anything. No, it's a sweatshop right here in Howell.
That's right. Howell Sweaters.
Just kidding, no.
Those are
Spirit
our
of
workers.
Livingston. Spirit of Livingston is our partner, and they're
Yes.
they're a great team to work with. Also, a great team to work with.
Yes.
Jordan Genso with the Genso team at Remax Platinum, who of course sponsors our community spotlight. Jordan enjoys teaching people about the real estate transaction process, along with discussing current market conditions. So even if you're not currently looking to buy or sell and you just want to have a worthwhile chat with a real estate professional, you can call Jordan at 248-444-9777.
And Jordan's also a great bread maker too, so if you want to discuss recipes, he'll probably be glad to do that as well. It's time for our community spotlight. My brother Tom, who we call T, is going to be joining us from Fairchild, LaBelle, and Rice. And I know it's busy tax season for him, so it may take him a couple minutes to answer the phone if we get his voicemail.
I see your phone. You have it in there's T-cell.
Good morning.
T-cell.
It's
Yeah,
T-cell.
T-cell.
Is this T-cell?
It's T-cell. Good morning, T.
How you doing?
All right, did we get you out of bed or what?
Oh, I'm up early. I got some coffee. I'm working on taxes as we speak.
Oh, who's taxes?
My own.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. All right.
Fudging the numbers a little bit. So, Fairchild, LaBelle, and Rice in Lansing, one of our new sponsors here on Mike and John, got it going on. And tax day, of course, April 15th, coming up in, we have 11 days, but that's expanded, right?
Yeah, so what it is the due date's normally April 15th, but Friday, April 15th, there's a holiday in Washington, D.C. called Tax Emancipation Day. And since they get a holiday, so does the rest of the country. So since the holiday falls on the 15th, it's the next day, next business day. So now they're due on Monday the 18th, 2 weeks from today.
So that gives you extra time to
Okay.
get stuff done, especially if you owe money.
Yep, so Easter weekend you can do your taxes.
There you go. So let's start. What are some of the hot things that people have been concerned about, especially with COVID and changing maybe jobs,
Employment status.
working from home,
Unemployment.
all those kind of things.
You know, I mean, theoretically, not that these are things we've been dealing with. I'm just
concerned about.
curious about the other people.
Yeah.
Well, there's a whole lot going on tax returns these days. Congress has passed a lot of legislation, more tax acts in the last 3 years than I've seen in the previous 20 years, you know, and so they're passing things quickly to try to keep the economy going and get money in people's pockets. So let's just pick on something like the stimulus. So they did 3 rounds of stimulus payments. So for this tax year, there's just a third stimulus payment is involved. So back in March of 21, you might have received up to $1,400 per person, yourselves and your dependents on your return. And that's an advance payment of a credit on your tax return this year. So when you do your taxes, you need to know how much of this credit you already got in advance, and then you got to settle up on the tax return.
So even though they gave you money, you're going to be taxed on that money.
They were advancing you money off your tax return. I mean, is that the proper way to say it?
Yeah, they gave you an advance payment of a credit on your tax return. So it's not going to cost you tax on that. But when you do your return, you'll determine, let's say you're a married couple and you were entitled to $1,400 each.
Right.
Because your income levels met the requirements. So then when you do your return, it's like, oh, you get a $2,800 credit. But you already got it, so you ain't getting it again. You know, so it's a settle up.
No doubling down on that.
Yeah. And they did the same thing with the child credits. They really bumped up credits for children. If you have children under 5, you know, you can get up to $3,600 in credit. Children between 5 and under 18, you can get up to $3,000. So they gave some of that money out in advance over the fall. They gave out 6 payments, so a lot of people got those credits in advance, and when you do your return, you settle up. So they can't just send you money; they give it to you, and then they got to settle up on the tax return with it.
Right. Let me ask you, how many people that you've talked to are surprised to find this out? That are like, what? I thought that what?
Well, I ask them, do you have your letter that you got from the government that says how much you got in advance on these credits?
Letter? What letter? Yeah.
Fortunately, IRS.gov has a way that you can look those up.
Of course they do.
Otherwise, I would have a stack of files in my office waiting for my clients to find it.
Right.
It's kind of obvious. I mean, you would think for most people, when you go into your bank account in the fall and you see these payments popping in there, and it's like, oh. So it's like, just add them up and let me know what you got.
Right.
Well, let me ask you this. There's another thing that you can get to use as a tax deduction or tax break, energy efficiency when it comes to home improvements. So today being April 4th, and John's furnace just went out.
Right.
If he has to pay to get that fixed, can he write that off on this year's taxes, or does that got to be next year's taxes?
Well, individuals are cash basis taxpayers, so it's whenever you pay the money.
Pay the bill.
And so as far as those go, it's not a deduction on your tax return for energy efficient improvements, but they are credits. And they're not huge for things like a furnace. You can get up to $150. But basically, it's a lifetime maximum credit. Like for windows, you can get up to $200. So now you got to know, hey, 8 years ago, I got my window credit already. I can't get it again. So it gets a little complicated, but there's some credits for energy efficient improvements. There's
wait a minute. Did you
like solar.
Did you say that's a lifetime credit?
It's a lifetime maximum. So if you got your window credit up to $150, 7 years ago,
you can't do it again. You can't double down on it again.
But but you figure, I mean, over the course, if you own a house for like 30 years and you improve the windows, and then maybe 25 years later you want to improve the windows again.
Otherwise, you could be doing a window at a time.
You know.
You see?
Yeah.
But all right, well,
let's say you only got $75 of window credit a few years ago. Then you still have 75 left on the table. It's 10% of whatever you paid for the windows.
Gotcha.
But the point is, I guess you got to keep track, and who
Fine.
does that? Computers, thank God, keep track of that for us. But if I have a new client, then I have to ask them, okay, did you get a window credit before?
So
I know.
So let me ask, so this is a great question for you. Now I know, it's like when I go in to see my doctor and I bring up WebMD and they kind of roll their eyes. I wonder if for tax professionals, when you say something like TurboTax, and you're like, okay. I mean,
TurboTax is great. I mean, I really think it's a good product. The software we use is called Pro Series, which is a professional's version of TurboTax, but it's huge. It has every form, every state, every type of return. But TurboTax is okay, but at the end of the day, when you print that return off, you got to kind of be able to look at it and know, yep, it's done right.
Right.
You know, and the numbers are in the right spot. So I'll give you a quick example. I had a client who came in, brand new client, very smart man, and he had his 2 kids, one's in college, and he had college tuition credit. And I go, I see you had your college tuition credit for your son last year. Oh yeah, that was great. You know, I got back $1,000. And I was like, well, you claimed the lifetime learning credit. Why didn't you claim the American Opportunities Tax Credit, which is for the first 4 years of college? It's a couple different college credits. He goes, oh, what's that? I don't know. You know, TurboTax just kicked out this credit. And I'm like, well, it's worth $2,500. So we did an amendment for him, and he got back another $15. So it's just a matter of their tax law is very complicated. It's hard to navigate, and I think it's very difficult for individuals to prepare their own return and, you know, have a good confidence that everything's good.
All right, I want to shift gears here, because ever since they made it real easy for everybody to gamble, you can gamble on your phone, in your car, whether you go to casinos or online, and people, when they're gambling and winning, how does that all file into your taxes? And I'm not just talking your March Madness brackets here. I'm talking about all the, you know, bet rivers and all that other kind of stuff. Your apps on your phone.
You know, you're gambling addicts.
Yeah.
How does this affect them?
I mean, because obviously I can't even remember the names of these. You know, you got Caesars and all the.
I mean, they made it so easy now for you to lose your mortgage right on your phone.
You can end up in a van down by the river. Just bet now.
That's right.
It's very dangerous. You know, I'm sure there's a piece of the money going to help, you know, the schools and all that other stuff, but it can be very dangerous. But at any rate, when you're gambling, technically you're supposed to claim, you know, all of your income, whether you get a Form W-2G for your gambling winnings or not. But if you're playing, let's just pick on slot machines, you're playing online and you play a slot machine and you hit a jackpot for more than $1,200 or more, you'll get a Form W-2G, and you put that W-2G on your tax return and you pay tax on it. Now there's an itemized deduction for gambling losses, which, number one, you got to be an itemizer, which is difficult these days. They've really ratcheted up the standard deduction.
Right.
For, you know, like a married couple, you get $25,100 of standard deduction, and IRS says, well, if you got itemized deductions more than that, then prove it to me. Things like property taxes, Michigan income taxes, mortgage interest, and charity. So, and gambling losses falls on there. So if you're not an itemizer, we can't deduct your gambling losses. But there is one thing that many people don't know about, which is called same session losses. So let's say you hit that slot machine for $1,200 and you proceed to lose it all right back. That could happen.
Yeah.
What?
Real easily. They count on that happening, don't they?
There's a way to cite a revenue ruling that talks about that. It's called same session losses, and if you document it, you can offset that W-2G without being an itemizer. So in the theory is, like, let's say you played a slot machine and you put in $100, you did one pull for $100 and you hit for $1,200 and you get a W-2G. Well, at the end of the day, you're really only up 11, right? Because you played 100 to spin. So at any rate, that's the same theory as same session losses when you do, multiple sessions within the same 24-hour window, and you sat down, you got up. What was your real difference?
So, okay.
I'm not getting where you can write off your losses.
How is that gambling? How is it gambling when you're like, I'll just itemize this and write it off?
Yeah.
That's not gambling. Gambling should be like, you lose. Guess what, loser? Hit the road.
Well, that's the other caveat there is gambling losses are only deductible to the extent that you have gambling winnings. So you can only offset your winnings. You can't write off a big loss.
Oh, the old win thing.
You gotta see. You used to be like you're quick to brag about your winning until they can tax it on you,
Right.
And they can track it with your Visa or whatever account you're using online.
Yeah, that's another thing is if you're doing a lot of online transactions, there's a form called the 1099-K where they say, hey, you had so many PayPal transactions, or so many online transfers, Venmo, call it whatever. eBay sales. So IRS is stepping up the reporting requirements.
Wait, hold on, Tom. Go back to this Venmo thing that you were talking about.
Yes, you can do that.
So if people were to say contribute to the Mike and John podcast, go to Venmo at Mike and John podcast
to make your donation.
And make a donation. Yeah. What are we responsible for on that?
Well, if you have more than $600 of receipts, that's the new law coming into play for 2022. That they're talking about making that a bigger number. Used to be $20,000, but you'll get a 1099-K, which means you receive the money, but it may or may not be a taxable event. Someone might have transferred money to you. It's kind of like it's a weird form. It's out there, and it's like, hey, there might be some trade or business activity out for these guys. So watch for that receipt to be claimed on tax return.
What if we use the Venmo receipts to warm up the studio?
Right,
because the furnace is down.
We're reinvesting in our.
Wouldn't that be like a gambling loss?
We're gambling.
Well, the way a business works is you always claim your revenue, but you get your ordinary and necessary business expenses, and heat is definitely necessary. So,
and we're in a basement.
You pay tax on your bottom line.
Yeah.
So, revenue minus expenses.
There we go.
Okay.
It's a good thing the furnace went out, eh?
All right. Well, apparently we need an accountant.
Well, you can get one of those little infrared heaters down there.
I've got
an old radiator.
An electric heater that's kind of keeping us going here.
Yeah, we'll keep track of how many BTUs it's using.
And waiting for the repair here, and go return my bottles and get my money together.
Have you seen
all? A business expense to me.
There you go. Thank you. All right, it's official. It's on the record.
We've got it from Fairchild LaBelle and Rice.
I will bring this tape to the IRS audit.
Is there anything else that's confusing people as far as the taxes go with all the pandemic and everything?
Well, there's a lot of things, and I think, my big pitch is that, be proactive about your taxes. Right now, everybody's thinking about taxes. Things are due in a couple weeks, but really, it sounds boring, it sounds weird, but just be thinking about your taxes, throughout the year, maybe in the fall, doing a forecast to see where you're at. And then you can do some proactive things between, let's say September and year end to come out as best as possible, and that way, I like to pitch that we have, no surprises in April. We should already know what these forms are going to say. We've planned it out. A couple things that have caught people off guard are with the new tax laws and the higher standard deductions. If you've got a married couple where both people work, their withholding is a lot lower because, unfortunately, the tax tables assume you're the only worker in the household. And they're like, the first $25,000 that Mike makes is going to be free. And, then you've got your spouse also working, and the tax tables assume the same thing. So you really got to watch your withholding, make sure you're aware of the percentages and how much, and then see if that's enough.
All right, you said the first $25,000 that Mike earns. What about the first 25? Let's move that decimal over a couple.
Well, the tax system has these brackets, right? So it's like a layer cake. Each bracket stands on its own, and you pay tax at that percentage for your income that falls in that bracket.
Do we have a lemonade stand bracket? Because I think we're in that bracket right now.
Yep. So you have like a 10%, 12%, 22%, 24%, and then it goes up from there. So
I don't think we have to worry about
$25, if that's all you make, you're probably not going to pay any tax on that.
Excellent.
All right.
We're in the clear.
Tax-free.
Excellent.
All right. Well, it's been informative for folks that want to find out more from Fairchild LaBelle and Rice. Email, I guess, or phone number?
Yep, you can email me at tom@FLR for Fairchild LaBelle Rice, CPAS.com. tom@FLRCPAs.com.
All right, we'll have that on our Mike and John page as well. Tom, we appreciated this morning being in our community spotlight. We learned a few things or two. Remember, you gamble, you lose, you still have to pay taxes.
What's up with this world? What is going on with this world?
All right.
Good, guys.
All right, get back to the taxes. Thanks.
Have a great day.
All right. You too. It's our Community Spotlight brought to you by Jordan Genso.
Give him a call, 248-444-9777, or find him on Facebook at Jordan Genso, community servant, community realtor.
Did you pay attention to anything?
I think I gave him an extra 7.
Did you give him an extra
I
7?
think it's 248-444-9777.
3 7s after.
I mean,
the
if you
9.
dial the extra 7, it's still going to go through. It's okay. But I'm just saying.
John's operator experience.
That's right. Yeah, cut you a 7.
So you were away for the weekend.
Yeah.
Went to what, Tennessee?
Yeah.
How was Tennessee?
It was very beautiful. Went to Smoky Mountains and got a cabin near Dollywood, not in Dollywood, which is in Pigeon Forge, which is down the road from Gatlinburg, whatever, which is right next to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park.
So I saw some of the pictures you posted on Facebook, and there was one with a tattoo parlor.
Right.
No.
That was
Mike
all.
and John got a.
I posted all the places we did not go.
Yeah.
In Pigeon Forge, which is, if you've ever been to Mackinac City.
Yeah.
Okay. Tourist trap. I mean, all the little touristy, gimmicky, schlocky stuff. It's all there.
No souvenirs?
Oh, did you want a souvenir?
Well, usually when you go somewhere, when we were working at our other job and you were earning big bucks, you'd bring me a souvenir.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
okay. I've got the body butter from
I got you.
last week.
You
The
did get body butter.
The grapefruit body butter.
That was X'd off
Yeah,
because it was
it's a-
free, and I'm giving it to you for free because it was
Or
given
it's
to me for free.
expired. We're not really
Yeah.
sure. Nobody bought it, so it sat on the shelf a long time.
Right.
But
But
I
anyway,
got
it was
that one.
it's a beautiful place. We went to, and if you go to the park, into Great Smoky National Park, it's beautiful terrain. We went to a place called Caves Cove, which you do a scenic loop around there, and you see some historic homes and things like that. It's very nice.
Were they little, like Greenfield Village?
They're
smaller
they're
than-
log cabins, and
Yeah.
you walk into some of these places that have been preserved, and you kind of imagine living there, and then of course you see the doofuses that have carved their initials into stuff, and you're like, really, jackass. But Bob and Kate were here. Okay.
Oh, Bob and Kate? Man.
Yeah. +8. Anyway, it was very nice.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I'm back. Sorry.
That's good too. We're glad you're back for
Okay.
GIGO News because
Yeah,
you're
sure.
keeping us updated on things
Yes.
that have been happening
Yes.
around Livingston County. Some of the things we want to point out for the podcast is if you have a community event that's coming up, we'd like to hear from you. You can always email us, mikeandjohnforthewin@gmail.com.
Right.
And
Or
that way
you-
you could be a part of the community spotlight.
Absolutely. We want to hear from you. If you have an event coming up you would like to talk about, have more, interest shown in it, yeah, definitely let us know. You can also post your events on our community calendar. You can go to mikeandjohnpodcast.com, and you'll see an area where you can enter your event information, and that will go up on our website as well.
Yes, it will.
Yes, it will.
But it's got to get approval first.
Well,
so
yeah.
We're not
It's
having
it's not-
just any shenanigan
no,
going on
you,
here.
You put it in there, and then we approve it.
We
So
have
it can't
the
just be,
authorities approve it.
It can't just be like, hey, I've lost $20,000 at the gambling tables. If you'd like to come and give me money. No.
No, give it to us instead.
Right. Hey, we're brought to you by Firehouse Doors, located in Livingston County for the past 24 years. Family-owned, veteran-owned. Mike, a proud U.S. Air Force veteran. They're your one-stop shop for residential, commercial, and rolling steel overhead door needs. And for the past 21 years, they've been Livingston County's only authorized distributor of CHI overhead doors. And they have offered a new promotion for us here on Mike and John Got It Going On. Each week, we are going to be giving away an opportunity.
Do tell.
Yes, for folks to get a preventative maintenance inspection for your garage door and your opener. This includes a 12-point inspection of up to 2 your garage doors and openers. The lucky winner has to be within a 25-mile radius of Howell, and that covers labor. And, of course, you would like you to redeem that by August 1st. But we're going to be giving that away. And the thing about the remotes, the openers, okay, because I think often, I know in the past, we think, oh, my garage door's not working, whatever, and it turns out it's your opener. And whether it's not just a battery issue, because that's easily fixed. But sometimes it can be, the
It
opener.
could be an old opener.
Yeah.
A garage door opener or that panel on your right by the door.
Or the sensor, too. I know the sensors can get misaligned, and sometimes it's a real simple thing that even if your door mostly works, but occasionally gives you trouble, and you're like, this is the kind of thing, if you get this preventative maintenance inspection package from Firehouse Doors, they're going to come, they're going to make sure that those eyes, the laser eyes, whatever. That makes it sound like it's the Terminator. But they're going to make sure those
Don't lay down by the garage door.
they're going to make sure those are aligned correctly, that your remotes are up to speed, and everything's going to. So anyway, we'll be doing a drawing for that later this week.
Sometimes they get dirty and they just won't let the garage door go down. Simple as that. And it could be something simple like that. It could be a spring, so you never know. So we're going to give you a chance to win that throughout the day today, or this week anyway, and each and every week until August. Is that the deal?
I don't know.
Okay, as long as you don't know.
I'll check.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You're going to
forever
follow up on
from
that.
now till the end of time, or maybe just for the month of
Firehouse
April.
Doors?
Maybe just for the month of April.
We'll do those drawings through the month of April. Want to thank our friends too at Murphy's Family Auto. Call today to schedule your car appointment at 517-552-3040. Come on by the shop, 6000 Pinckney Road or D19. SC Glen or Dennis, they'll take care of you. Murphy's Family Auto, your car knows. And good time to get the car ready for summer traveling or spring traveling.
Murphy'sFamilyAuto.com. You can check them out there. All right.
As we mentioned at the top of the show today, April 4th, National Cordon Bleu Day.
He spoke French.
Yes, I did. Cordon Bleu, spelled B-L-E-U.
Yeah.
They got to get all fancy. It just really
Not old blue. Old blue.
not old blue.
It's Cordon Bleu.
Or old blue for John
Yeah.
was a squirt gun we used for a La Casa fundraiser.
Old blue.
Or it could be an old truck
I left old
or
blue.
an ox
Old blue still sitting in the cabinet.
for the next news guy.
That's right.
He may need old
He's gonna open
blue.
that cabinet and go, what the frick was going on in here? Anyway.
Cordon bleu is basically, for those that don't know, a thin piece of pounded meat.
Yeah. Hey
Most
now.
often chicken. Could be veal or pork.
Oh, okay.
Don't pound your veal.
No. I thought it was only applied to chicken. I didn't know you could do it.
You can use it with pork or,
I did not
or
know
veal.
that. All right.
Stuffed with ham and cheese, then breaded and fried.
I've only known Cordon Bleu chicken.
Chicken cordon bleu is relatively new and recent from American creation. Happened in 1967.
Okay.
According to an article that was written.
An article that was written
Yes, it was.
was pounded out.
It's also
Sorry.
don't pound your veal.
No.
School Librarian Day today. Vitamin C Day today. And Walk Around Things Day. And it's not just so you don't hurt yourself. It's like if there's something that may drive you nuts, it may be better just to walk around it, get away from it all, and forget it's there. You leaving? Don't forget to unhook that phone. So disconnect everything.
Pull everything with me.
1818 on this day, as we look at our 2-cent history lesson, Congress decided the U.S. flag would consist of 13 red and white stripes and 20 stars, with a new star to be added for each state added to the United States.
All right. So in 1818,
1818.
there was 20 states.
Yes, there were.
We've added 30 since.
How about that?
Did that math.
We're not adding any more.
Maybe we will. Puerto Rico could come in as 51.
That would make the flag look all out of whack.
You know,
you make it
the
an odd number.
UP, the UP has talked about seceding or making its own state. That could be 51.
It could be.
I'm just throwing it out.
Area 51 above us. Vitamin C was isolated on this date in 1932, University of Pittsburgh. That's why it's Vitamin C Day. The first protest march against nuclear weapons was held on this day.
Thank God nuclear weapons aren't a concern anymore.
Those marches really affected things. 1958 is when that happened. 1958, the first anti-nukes march.
Yeah.
The Beatles held the top 5 places on the U.S. singles chart in 1964 on this day. Number 5, I Want to Hold Your Hand. No, please please me. Then I Want to Hold Your Hand. If you please me, I'll hold your hand.
I'll hold your hand first, okay? Then maybe I'll please you. All right, calm down.
Number 3 was Roll Over Beethoven. Love Me Do It Too, and Can't Buy Me Love.
All right.
It's number 1 on this day. The Beatles holding the top 5
Yes.
in the charts.
Has that been done since?
I don't think so. I think
so.
that's got to be.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't realize. You know, the other ones made sense. I didn't realize Roll Over Beethoven was.
I guess
in that top 5. 1981, Styx went to number 1 on the U.S. album chart with Paradise Theater. Rockin' the Paradise.
Yeah.
Styx was.
Those are all dramatic. The Dennis DeYoung years. Because he was the drama. So it's all about the drama and the story. And Tommy Shaw's like, can we just rock, man?
Dennis said, no, we're going to Desert
Hey,
Moon.
Fellini,
Remember
trying to
Desert
rock
Moon.
over here and get some chicks.
But what about Desert Moon? I want to do my solo stuff. Shut up, Dennis. And it was on this day in 1992. The film soundtrack from Wayne's World started a 2-week run at number 1 on the U.S. charts.
Okay.
That's your 2-cent history lesson.
All right.
Today. Now,
Yes.
something that caught my eye this weekend. The survey was done asking people about weird smells.
Another survey.
Weird smells that they like. Weird smells that they like.
Weird smells.
You know,
okay, so
you kind of hate to admit it. It's a weird smell, but you like it. Now, it doesn't have to be a bad smell. It's just not something that you normally
for me,
inhale.
I've admitted that, at least when I was a kid, I used to like the bus exhaust.
Yeah.
The school bus exhaust. When the buses would come, I'd stand there and be like,
See, now, for a second,
this explains a lot about my academic career.
For a second, you can understand that. You know,
For a second, till you pass out.
Well, no, it's one of those things. Yeah, I kind of like that. But then you walk away. But you stood by the exhaust. As if I need some carbon monoxide.
Hey, King he's practically got his nose up the tailpipe.
He's still there.
What's he doing?
Others that made the list were sawdust, fertilizer. You know, you walk into an old-timey farm, you know, even the other day, over the weekend, as a matter of fact, I went into a hardware store and you smell the fertilizer, and it's kind of like, it's the smell,
okay.
the smell of spring.
Right.
Not
It can be.
cow poo.
Right.
But, you know, just regular bags of fertilizer. You're like, oh, yeah. And one that caught my eye was the smell of a fresh can of tennis balls.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I mean,
I wasn't a big tennis
as soon
player,
as you say it,
you open it up and
I can smell it.
You smell it. It doesn't
right.
take long for that smell to go away.
Right.
But the smell of fresh tennis balls. I did say tennis balls.
Yes, you did.
Okay, just making sure that we got that. All right.
I'm glad you did.
So that was maybe we should post that question and see if some of our
What's
viewers
your weirdest favorite smell?
Yeah, the thing that's kind of a weird smell, but you like it.
All right. You want me to ask that now?
Well, you can put it up there.
All right.
We'll have more answers tomorrow. But this was just
okay.
a national survey.
Yeah.
We need a local. Livingston County weird smell.
So for you, it's fertilizer.
No, I kind of like the tennis ball.
Oh, okay.
You know, I think everybody likes that new car smell. You know, but
Right.
which is kind of, it's hard to describe. It's not sitting in the ear or anything.
You like the new car smell pretty much until you drive the thing off the lot. Then it can go away. I don't.
That just tells you that you paid big bucks.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. You're like, you want to, exactly. You get into some car that you bought from some dude on the side of the road. And you're like, all right, this smells like the dude on the side of the road.
It smells like feet.
That's right. You start thinking things like,
oh, this smells like feet. I kind of like it. I don't.
I wonder how many farts have been ripped into this seat.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that's a weird smell.
These
that
are
we
the things
didn't
that go through my mind.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, I was thinking too while we were
Glimpse.
talking to Tom about tax breaks, some
Yeah.
things that I think we should get tax breaks on.
All right, tell me.
And I jotted these down while we were talking. I think I should get a tax break when I have to bag my own groceries. I'm working, but I'm not
That's
getting
true.
paid for it.
You have the option of standing in the one open register with 700 people in it, though. So you don't have to.
I don't have to,
Right.
but
Right. They really want you to. I mean, then mostly we do.
I should get a tax break for every minute that I have to sit in a waiting room past 15 minutes at the doctor's office. I think sometimes you're in there for half hour, 45 minutes. You just have more of a chance of getting sicker, don't you?
Right.
So there should be a sick tax deduction.
I agree. There's
And
sometimes
then-
where you go, and then they take you into, you wait and wait and wait, then they take you into the exam room, and you
you're
wait some
sitting
more.
on the paper, so you
Right.
should get the sitting on the paper break
Right.
too, right?
Right.
When the cable goes out and I lose all my recorded shows.
Okay.
Now I know you've cut the cable, so you've got your
Right.
streaming services and stuff like that, so you don't have to worry about that,
Right.
right?
But
as a cable,
sometimes with streaming, though,
that can happen too.
if the streaming goes out, like if your Wi-Fi goes out and you're in the middle of a show, it won't remember where you were at the show.
So you got to.
So then you're like, you come back and you're like,
Oh, so
what is
like a
this? I already
rewatch
saw
tax
this.
break.
Yeah. You're like, I already saw it. And then I gotta fast forward. Talk about a bunch of first world problems. Oh my God.
These are things we should get tax
That's
breaks
right.
on.
Okay.
And finally, those Facebook ads that pop up for things you may have Googled for a loved one.
Right.
You know, say say you're looking for a coworker that needs Depends. So you Google Depends, and the next thing you know, in your Facebook feed, you're
Right.
getting ads for senior peeing
Right.
and don't poop your pants ads.
Right. Why?
So and Cologuard.
Is that what it says right
The
on the
little-
end? Don't poop your pants. Oh, thanks.
Adult Depends.
Right.
You know, or
Now-
Cologuard.
now in
the
phone
box
size.
that you can send your poop to.
Right. Right.
So you get those kind of ads. I think we should get a break for that.
Have you done the Cologuard?
I have not pooped in a box.
I have.
And it wasn't doctor's orders.
No,
I just pooped in a box.
I just pooped in a box and mailed it off to Cologuard. Here you go.
Or did you send it to Parkway Drive in Howell?
Right.
Don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, no.
That's just some thoughts that happened.
So
during the tax
some
things.
deep thoughts, if you will.
Real deep.
Yeah, maybe we need some deep thoughts on this show.
Deep thoughts.
Maybe that could be a regular,
thought-
like an affirmation type thing.
All right, so that's all I got for today. It's a Monday, and
Yeah,
I didn't do much after that.
I was in Tennessee, so
Yeah, looking at Dolly. If you haven't noticed yet, we're gonna have something new on the post show.
Oh, right. Forgot.
Yeah.
Thank you. Glad you
I
remembered.
haven't noticed yet.
Yes. So wait for the post show. Oh, it'll be so worth it.
Yeah, well,
Like it always is. Exclusive post show content.
for our YouTubers, our tubers, tubies. All right, tubies. GIGO tubies.
Or are they tubbies? They're Teletubbies.
There you go. Tuber tubbies. Is the band done yet?
They're playing. Hold on.
All
All right.
There we go.
Big finish.
Ice cream man. All right.
All right. We're post show now.
I think we kind of need to zoom in on this. Can I?
Okay.
Can I
Yeah,
move
yeah.
this?
So post show. All right, if you want to.
All right.
So we have a new poster. We said we were going to get a new poster.
It's April,
Right.
and this is
Sorry, maybe.
Oh, there's the Fonz and the Fonz in glass. I was going to bring my Fonzie glass, but I didn't.
Yes. So this is my
There we go.
undiscovered country Star Trek poster. I think this was
Star Trek 6.
Yeah, Star Trek. You did your Roman
Six.
numerals. there.
Yeah, I
Nice.
did. Pretty good. It's
Star
like a
Trek.
Super Bowl.
It's Star Trek VI, and
Vi.
Yeah, which was
I never even knew there was a Vi.
there was a VI.
The undiscovered
Yeah,
country.
Yeah, it was the undiscovered script, which we would have left. We wish they would have left undiscovered. So
What
anyway,
else is in here? We got over there on the cabinet.
we're really going on a trip here.
What's over there?
What?
What's
This is the poster
book?
cabinet.
What's the book?
Oh, that's the catalog from
for the
Spirit of Livingston.
merchandise
Yeah.
you can get at Mike
Yeah.
and John. Got it going on.
Well, not everything.
Not everything.
These are the possibilities.
No, there are lots of there's
Right.
a lot of possibilities in there.
You want to take them on a tour of the whole GIGO franchise here?
Sure, if you want to.
you-
You
Here's-
narrate.
Oh, okay, sure. You be the
I'll
cameraman.
be
All
the
right,
camera
that's
guy.
fine. All right.
Here we
So
go.
first of all, let's
Whoops! I knocked over the heater. Here's the heater. It's a little hot.
don't burn yourself
Here, grab that.
I'm glad this is on tape.
this is a little heater that probably broke
yeah.
or shorted out since
Okay.
I knocked it over.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, let's get warm. Our hands are full.
Okay. So here's our entry bin with
Yep.
the new entries on it.
Here's John's Star Trek collection.
Yeah,
Let's talk about this. And what's the little cologne bottle here? Is that?
Oh, that's liquor.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
let's have a shot.
Yeah. You want a shot now?
No, that
No.
doesn't. That looks like Dad's old Old Spice.
It
bottle
does
or
kind of look
something.
like a high
Vintage
karate
cologne,
or something.
yeah.
You put a little behind your ears, but it's some kind of, I don't know what it
How
is.
come the guy in the black cape is facing backwards?
Oh, this guy here.
Yeah. Oh, that looks like a pirate / cop.
This was from my immortal run in Young Frankenstein, where I played Inspector Kemp. And our good friend David Hayes, he created this action figure
I see.
for me.
So he
as
was facing
Inspector.
backwards. Why?
Yeah.
He wasn't worthy of Spock and the guy in the.
He was
funny
embarrassed by my
jacket?
performance. So, yeah, you know.
All right, and then we got some old time radios here.
Yeah, these are from my grandfather, who ran he had a shop on the boardwalk in Atlantic City for several decades, and I got these from him.
Do they work?
Some vintage. Yeah, they do. I think this one works.
Well, turn it on. Let's hear it.
I don't have a plug over here.
Oh, well, it doesn't work then. There's no
Okay,
plug.
well, you got to plug it in. I'm sorry. You know,
And behind that door is the furnace that doesn't
Yeah, here,
work that
here,
we've
what's
been
your
referring
con- yeah,
to.
what's your con-
Yeah, here we go.
So-
This is exclusive
Yeah, this is
content you didn't
exclusive
know you were going to
content.
get.
Okay.
Look at that. This
So-
is the furnace. Let's go check out that
let's go check
igniter, John.
So yeah, So
it's cold in here.
this is where the igniter is not working. You're getting an exclusive look at John's furnace.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yep. Now we're going back.
Is anyone even watching?
I don't know. I think we're pretty much done now, aren't we?
Here, I'll just turn this off now.